Man, what up, what's up, what's going on with y'all today, man? Welcome back to another video of Mills Elite TV, you know what I'm saying? Look, today, as you can see, I got a lot of rod and reels, so I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all my rod and reel arsenal. Alright, man, so I'm gonna just go ahead, go over these rapid fire, man, because I'm not trying to be here all day. I mean, I got over 20 rods, so I'm not trying to bore y'all to death, but just, I'm just show y'all, like, the pound test I got on, what I use them for, and, like, technique-specific rods, and everything else, man. As y'all can see, I got a whole lot, and I do use all of them. I do. So you gotta have a specific rod for every technique, so which is why I have so many. But I'm gonna go ahead and get into it, man, and go ahead, rapid fire. This is my pan fishing rod. I mean panfish is like anywhere from like crappie to bluegill or sunfish, anything like small. Those are gonna be my setups. There's a P Fluorotron. Alright, next I got my inshore set up, so anytime I'm going like just anything besides lake fishing, you know, just inshore, I'm going to be using this one. This is Bass Pro Shops Inshore Extreme 6:8 to 1 gear ratio, and this is a 2-piece rod, and I like a 2-piece because I can take it anywhere in the country. I mean, I can just keep it right here with me. Along with this one, this is also another 2-piece rod. I mean, I got them put together right now because I was using it the other day. But I don't take this one just inshore fishing. I mean, this is a saltwater reel. It's a Concept Z, 0 ball bearings, a 7:3 to 1 gear ratio, and this is the AP Bass and Special 2-piece rod. And this is a 7.2 medium heavy moderate fast action. I use it mostly for ball head jigs, you know. The ball head jig is gonna work anywhere around the country. I mean, I don't care if you're fishing freshwater or saltwater. I don't care what you're fishing. The ball head jig is gonna get the job done. All right, so next I got the good old Black Max. This is the Ava Garcia Black Max. This is obviously my first bait caster combo that I ever purchased from Ava Garcia, and it's the 6.6 medium and a 6.4 to 1 gear ratio. Got a 20-pound Berkeley fire line on there, and I mean, I just keep this just like, you know, when I go fishing with my buddies and they don't have a rod, I'll just give this to them. But I really don't like use this at all. I just like sits in the corner all day. So alright, man, so next I got my Lose mock combo. As you see, I had to close the blind so we can get better light in me, but this is a basically an all-purpose combo. I mean, I use this for just anything pretty much. Right now I got a little square bill tied up, but this is a 6.8 to 1 gear ratio, and it's a 7-foot medium moderate fast action. Alright, next I got my Lose Hank Parker combo, and this is a 7-foot medium heavy fast action, and it's a 7.5 to 1 gear ratio, and this is the worm and jig special. So it's technically designed for worms and jigs, but you can throw just about anything on there. Alright, next got my Lose Laser Pro, and this is a 610 medium heavy fast action, and I mostly use this for weightless stuff. So right now I have just a weightless wacky rig tied on. This is a 7.5 to 1 gear ratio, 10 bearing system. And yeah, like I said, I just use this for weightless everything, like weightless flukes or weightless Senkos. Whatever I'm throwing, if it's weightless, is going on this bad boy. Next, we got my Ava Garcia Max Winch combo, and I use this setup for just like cranking, and that's anywhere from shallow crankbait, and this is a 7-foot medium action, and well, 7-foot medium power moderate action, and it's a 5.4 to 1 gear ratio. Alright, so next I got my Lose Mock Smash right here, and this is a 610 medium heavy fast action, and it's a 7.5 to 1 gear ratio. I mostly use this for Texas rigs or just like curly tail worms, because you know you can't go wrong with a curly tail worm, like at all. I mean, I don't care where you're fishing at. Just like with the ball head jig, curly tail worm is gonna work almost in any condition and wherever you go. So then I have my Lose Mock Crush, and this one is a 7-foot medium heavy fast action, and it's also a 7.5-to-1 gear ratio. And I use this one for finesse swim jigs. So as you can see right here, I got a 1/8 ounce swim jig, and this is perfect because I mean you can get that long distance with a 7-foot, and it's a medium heavy, so I mean you can do just about anything with it, but I use it for finesse swim jigs. And I got a 15-pound Seagull red label on here, fluorocarbon. Then we have my this is a Loose Speed Spool LFS 7.5-to-1 gear ratio, 10 bearing system, and this is a Dick's Bassmaster Classic rod. I don't think they sell these anymore. So if you see anybody with one of these, it's kind of rare because I don't think they sell them anymore. But well, at least I haven't seen them anymore. But I use this for shallow lipless crankbaits. So if I'm cranking shallow, like anywhere from just 5-10 foot, that's what I consider shallow cranking. And I got 15-pound Seagull red label fluorocarbon. Alright, then we have, this is my drop shot setup, and I use this mostly for from smallmouth fishing or largemouth. I mean, I will fish largemouth every once in a while, but from smallmouth fishing, this is going to be the setup that's in my hands. Can't go wrong with a drop shot, and this is a 7.2 medium light, and 6.2-to-1 gear ratio. And I have a 15-pound moss braid, and I have a 10-pound fluorocarbon leader. Yeah, no, 12-pound fluorocarbon leader, and a 15-pound braid. And this is the Akuma TCS drop shot / finesse setup. Next we have the good old Lose Xfinity, and this is a 6.6 medium fast action. And again, I have a 15-pound Power Pro onto a 10-pound fluorocarbon leader, and this is 6.2-to-1 gear ratio. And the reason why I like that 6 medium is because when you're mostly fishing Ned rigs, you're target casting, so you're not really like trying to bomb it out there, or it's not really a search bait. So when you're target casting, you really want that short rod because it's just more accurate. So, and again, this is my Ned rig setup, Lose Xfinity. Okay. Alright, next, this is going to be my blade bait setup, and this is a 7-foot medium heavy fast action. It's a medium heavy, but it really acts like a medium powder. And this is a Dobbins Colt, and it's a 703C. So I'm sure a lot of you Dobbins guys watching this, guys know a lot about the rods. I don't really keep up with it that much. I mean, I'm not like a true die-hard fan of Dobbins rods. I mean, I know some of my buddies that are would die for Dobbins rods, but this is not the case for me. This is Dobbins Colt, and this is a Lose Tournament Laser Classic, and it's 7.5-to-1 gear ratio. Alright, so next I have another lipless crankbait, but as you can see, the difference between these two, I fish this one deep. So if I'm going like 30 to 20 feet, this is going to be my lipless crankbait setup. And if I'm going like 5 foot, 7 foot, or 10, just shallow cranking, it's going to be this one. And the main difference between these two, this is a rattle trap, and this is a lipless crankbait. So it's not really a huge difference, but the main difference is that rattle trap, it has a pointy tip, so it's going to rip through that grass a lot better than this one would, which is why I use it for shallow cranking. So, and the difference is I use a 15-pound fluorocarbon on this one versus 10-pound fluorocarbon on this one, which allows it to just get down deeper and fish those areas that can't be fished with a 15-pound. And this is a Team Kvd Quantum Rod, a 7-foot medium heavy fast action. I know a lot of Quantum guys are going to be mad seeing this because it's a Kvd rod and Kvd left Quantum, but I'm not sponsored by any of these Rod&Reel companies. I have a hook sponsorship, so that's a good thing about not being sponsored by any Rod&Reel companies, because as you can see, I got all types of different brands, so I can use whatever the hell I want to. So, and this is a Quantum Accuracy S3, and it's a 7-1 gear ratio. Alright, so next I have my Shimano Kaios Combo. And this is a 7-foot medium heavy fast action, 7:2-to-1 gear ratio. I mostly use this for ball head jigs. Then I have my loose custom XP combos, a 7.5-to-1 gear ratio and a 7-foot medium heavy. I mostly use this for small Tokyo rigs. You know, if I'm like this casting Tokyo rig, then it'll be on here. But if I'm pitching that Tokyo rig, it'll be in a different setup. Next, I have my top water combo. Well, small top water combo. So right now I have a top water popper on there, and this is a Daiwa Catula Elite 8-1 gear ratio and a 6-foot moderate fast medium. The reason why I like that medium is because it's already a treble hook bait, so you really don't want that much power when you're setting that hook, or you're really gonna tear a big hole in their mouth, or you're gonna loose a lot. And I don't throw a braid. I know a lot of guys throw a braid when they're using top water poppers or anything top water. I really don't throw a braid. So my personal preference on this is I use 15-pound monofilament, and for small poppers, and if I'm going like maybe like a bigger size, I'll go up to 17-pound. I would never throw like 20 or anything below like 12-pound. Alright, so then we have my small swim bait setup, and this is a 7.3 heavy fast action, and this is a Dobbins Fury series, and let me see, it's a 7.3 So again, a lot of you Dobbins guys will know what that means. Again, I really don't keep up with it that much. And reel wise, this is a Piscifun Phantom, and it's a 7-to-1 gear ratio. Now, when you're talking about budget fishing, this is as good as it gets. I mean, this Piscifun Phantom right here retails for $80 off their website, and this is the best like $80 reel I've ever used and that I've ever gotten my hands on. And this is just a good like budget combo. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. Alright, so now we have my chatterbait setup, and this 7-foot medium heavy fast action and 6:6-to-1 gear ratio, and this is the Aber Garcia Revo X. The reason why I throw braid is because I like a low stretch, and this setup I'm mostly going to be fishing it around murky or stained water. I know if I was throwing like a chatterbait in clear water, then I'll probably switch to a fluorocarbon. Anything under 20 pound and over 15 pounds. So I'm just in that 17 to 16 to 18 pound test. My Shimano Slx Combo, and this is my combo for finesse spinner baits. Well, not really finesse, but just smaller spinner baits. And this is a 6:3-to-1 gear ratio, and it's a 7.2 medium fast action. Well, extra fast action actually. And I have that paired up on 14-pound Seaguar Red Label fluorocarbon. Next, we got my Daiwa Catula combo, and this is a Daiwa Catula TWS. And when you're talking about Daiwa bait casters, man, they have such ridiculous names. So if you know exactly which one this is the TWS. But I know some of them that has like crazy names like TWS, SV, or whatever it is. A lot of you Daiwa guys know exactly what I'm talking about. But this is a 7:3-to-1 gear ratio, and it's a 7-foot medium fast action. And this is my combo for shaky heads, and I have 10-pound fluorocarbon on this one. I feel like 10-pound fluoro is probably the best line for fishing shaky heads, because you can really get it out there and you can target cast all you want, and it's not going to break on you. You know, if you're using like 8-pound might be able to snap that, but 10 pound is the best for shaky heads, in my personal opinion. Next we have my Whopper Plopper setup, and this is a Shimano Corrado Combo. This is 7.4 medium heavy moderate action, and reel is a 8.5 to 1 gear ratio, and I have that on 30 pound Power Pro braid. This is a 90 size Berkeley Chopo. Chopo is by far my favorite Whopper Plopper. I like the River 2Cs as well, and I can use both of them because I'm not sponsored by neither one of them. So if I had to give you a personal opinion on which one is better, I'll probably choose a Chopo. Next, I have my heavy cover jig setup, and this is a 7.2 heavy, and this is the Jig and Worm Special 7.5 to 1 gear ratio, and have that on 40 pound Berkeley. I think it's a Berkeley braid, and this is a 3/8 ounce Strike King Pro Model jig. I like that 7.5 to 1 gear ratio because you have a lot of winch power in that 7.5 to 1 gear ratio. Alright, so now we have my Buzzbait setup, and this is Ava Garcia Vendetta on a Ava Garcia Revo SX Rocket. This is 7-foot medium heavy fast action, and this is a 9 to 1 gear ratio. I have that set up on 40 pound Power Pro, and if I'm fishing around like grass or heavy vegetation, I'm going to be throwing it on braid. But if I'm fishing like clear reservoirs or whatever, just clear water, then I'm going to switch this line to a fluorocarbon, preferably 17 or 18 pound fluorocarbon. And I really like that high gear ratio because I don't have to work as hard. I mean, if you have a gear ratio on the 6s or the 7s or the 8s, you're really going to have to make that like more cranks than you should be making. When I throw this one out there, I can just, just slow roll it, and it just keeps me from working hard. So this is my Buzzbait setup. Won a lot of tournaments on this one. So next I have my loose Mock Inshore Combo, and this is a 6.9 medium fast action and a 7.5 to 1 gear ratio, and have that on 14 pound Seaguar Red Label fluorocarbon. And I use this for finesse swim baits. So the reason I use it for finesse swim baits is because a finesse swim bait is going to catch them inshore and offshore. So since it's an inshore combo, I'm mostly going to be using it when I go inshore fishing, but I take this mostly everywhere I go. I mean, if I'm fishing a tournament, you best believe I have this in my hands. It'll definitely catch a lot of largemouth bass. So next I have my what you would call a workhorse. This is truly my workhorse combo, and this is my Shimano Slx. It's a 7.2 to 1 gear ratio, and I have that paired up on a Denali Attacks. This is 7-foot medium heavy. I have that on 15 pound FC Sniper. And the reason why it's my workhorse combo is because, whenever I'm out there or whatever I'm doing, most of the time this combo is going to be in my hands, just because I have a Texas rig on this. I have it pegged right now just because I was pitching rocks the other day when I was out there, and it's really a true workhorse. So when I start posting more tournament vlogs or tournament footage, you guys are going to see that this is a setup that I mostly have in my hands. I mean, like 80% of the time it's this one, just because I can throw whatever on it. I mean, it's a Texas rig and this holds up good against anything. So next I have my loose custom black combo, and this is my combo for horny toads. I have it paired up on 40 pound Power Pro, and this is a 7.3 medium heavy fast action, and it's a 7.5 to 1 gear ratio. So now we have my jerkbait setup, and this is a 13 fishing Concept A on a 13 fishing Defi Black, and this is a 6.7 medium fast action, and I have that on 10-pound FC Sniper fluorocarbon. Alright, and then we have my, this is what I would call my deep diving crankbait setup. So I mostly throw this on deep divers, and this is 7.6 medium heavy, moderate action. This is a Ducket Silverado on a Ducket reel. I'm not sure which model this is. Pretty sure this is a 300 RG, but it's a 5:4 to 1 gear ratio, and I have that on 13-pound fluorocarbon. You know, the reason I don't throw like 10-pound or 8-pound fluorocarbon is because when you're really casting it out there, this crankbait has a good amount of weight on it. So if you're really trying to bomb that out there, you're probably going to slap your line off, and it's just gonna cast it out there, and it's gonna go a long ways. You're not getting that big bang. So 13-pound fluorocarbon is the best for deep diving cranks. And yeah, this is my setup. And also the reason why I don't, well, I love Ducket rods, but the reason why I don't like purchase them that often is because it really doesn't show like what action this is. I mean, it says medium heavy cranking, but I mean, if it says cranking, then you're mostly going to be assuming that it's a moderate action versus a fast action. And that's the only thing I don't like about Ducket rods. It really doesn't have the information that any other rod would have on there, like the pound test, like 1/4 to whatever 1/4 ounce, or what it'll hold up, what line it'll hold up, and action on there. That's the only reason I don't personally that much. I love Ducket rods though. So next, this is Ava Garcia Revo MG Extreme, and I believe this is the lightest reel on the market right now. And I have that on an Ava Garcia Villain, and this is a 7.1 medium heavy fast action, and this is an 8 to 1 gear ratio reel. And I have that for this is just a versatile like lure right here. I mean, I don't know what to call it because it's not really a swim bait. I just have a swim bait on there, but as you can see, it's really like a screw lock, and it doesn't really have a hook keeper, but it's kind of like a screw lock, and it has a weighted belly, so you can really throw just about anything on here. I mean, I'll fish this, like I'll put Senkos on here, swim baits like I got on sun tied on right now, craws, bonito bugs, or whatever it is I'm fishing on here, it'll hold up anything. Alright, so next I have my Swim Jig set up, and this is also a Ducket Silverado, but this is a 7-foot medium heavy fast action, and this is on my Shimano Corrado, and this is a 7.2 to 1 gear ratio, and again, this is just a Strike King swim jig. I have 30-pound Berkeley X9 braid. Next, this would usually be my skipping setup. So anytime I'm skipping docks or skipping laydowns or whatever, this is gonna be my setup. But I actually don't have the reel on there right now because I returned it to get a higher gear ratio. So I had the Shimano Slx Dc in a 7.2 to 1 gear ratio, but I had to take it back because I wanted an 8.5 to 1 gear, 8.2 to 1 gear ratio, just because I feel like I can get those fish quicker in when, like, say if you just skip under a dock and they bite it and they come running towards you, you need to have that higher gear ratio to really like stay with those fish and not miss any. And as far as rods goes, this is a 6.6 medium heavy. The reason why I like a 6.6 is because I'm not a very tall guy. I mean, I'm 5'10 and a half, so 6.6 feels perfect for me to skip, you know, versus if you had like a 7-foot, or, I mean, you can skip with a 7-foot or a 7.3, 7.4, probably not with a 7.6, at least not me, but it just makes a world of difference when you're using that 6.6 medium heavy. Alright, so next I have my personal favorite right here. and this is my St.Croix Avid X 7-foot medium heavy fast action on my Shimano Corrado Dc, and this is a 7:4 to 1 gear ratio. I have that on 17-pound FC sniper line fluorocarbon, and this is my setup for if I'm fishing jigs around structure, you know, not really grass but structure like rocks, wood. The reason why I like fluorocarbon instead of braid is because when you're fishing around structure, when you're fishing that braid, it has a tendency to cut through that wood and it's going to get snagged up. Or if you're fishing it around rocks, it'll actually cut, the rocks will cut that braid, and it's going to allow you to miss a lot of fish or break off a lot of lures. Versus if you're using a fluorocarbon line or a 17-pound fluorocarbon line, because if you're using a 15-pound, then that's just too weak. But I recommend a 17-pound fluorocarbon or a 20-pound fluorocarbon if you're fishing jigs around structure or anything around structure, just because it just slides better around wood and rocks and anything you're going to be fishing. And this allows me to just skip under laydowns or make a far cast when I'm fishing that riprap or docks or whatever it is. If I'm fishing structure, this is going to be my jig setup. Again, this is my Shimano Corrado Dc on a St.Croix Avid X. Alright, so finally, last setup, I have my bladed Swim Jig combo. And some people don't understand the difference between a chatterbait and a bladed swim jig. It's kind of the same action, but it's two different lures. I'm telling you, it's two different lures. So right now, this is a Strike King Thunder Cricket, and as you can see, bladed swim jigs are gonna have that bullet-shaped head, and it's gonna be like almost like fishing a swim jig, but just with a blade on it. When you're fishing a chatterbait, it doesn't really have that bullet-shaped head or whatever. So this is a bladed swim jig. It's totally different. And when you're fishing bladed swim jigs, I like almost 99% of the time swim bait on the back of that. So instead of using like rage crawl like I would be using for a chatterbait, I would be using a swim bait on the back of a bladed jig, or a bladed swim jig, sorry. And this is a 7'3" medium heavy fast action, and this is a Lew's Custom Pro speed stick, and this is a Lew's Custom Pro bait caster, and it's a 6:8 to 1 gear ratio. The reason why I like a 6:8 to 1 over like 6'3" or 6'5" is because it's a bladed swim jig. So when you get those strikes on a bladed swim jig, you're gonna want to have some speed, but you're also want to have that. You're gonna want to have that winch power and that slow speed to keep the bait like moving constantly. So if you had like a 7 to 1 gear ratio, it's just gonna, the blade is just gonna move too fast to have that perfect action for the fish. And I have that on 40-pound Berkeley braid, and the reason why I use braid again is because I'm gonna be using this one just around grass or in murky water and muddy water versus clear water. So if it's clear water, I'm not going to be throwing a bladed swim jig. I'm just going to switch to my chatterbait combo and be throwing that on fluorocarbon. And that's just the main difference between those two. And yeah, this is my last setup right here. Alright, and that is going to wrap it up for today's video. Again, this is my Rod&Reel arsenal. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up, leave a comment if you would like, and please hit that subscribe button for me. And if you guys would see my next Rod&Reel arsenal, stay tuned, because I am working on building like just my Rod&Reel arsenal to all higher end gear. So it'll be a lot of those like around all over here. so I'm probably not gonna have those like low end gear like the Mach Smash or the Black Max or anything. Probably just gonna upgrade to all higher end, and stay tuned for that in the future, man. I'm really working hard to get there, and hope you guys enjoyed this video, man. Peace out. Full time.